Yo, yo. So, yeah, I'm still scrambling. That literally is me. I got to get the comments pulled up. Moto Ali, I think you're here. Yeah, still here. You got work, man. I'm here, but I'll be back in 10 minutes. Yeah. I got to figure out, I got to get the comments right, too. Yeah, I have like all these days to get this stuff straight. And literally at the last minute, I'm still trying to scramble. So when there's like countdown, that minute, there's what drama do I have, right? What realistically, what drama do I have? Probably not even recording right now. But let me see if the audio is working. What drama do I have, right? All right. Realistically, what drama? Okay. So yeah, so my drama is that suspense, that suspenseful 1 minute countdown with the cool music. That music is pretty cool though. Let's get the chat pulled up over here. So I have like weeks since the last live. I had weeks and weeks to prepare for this. And here I am, the last minute and beyond, add some time to it. And I'm still like trying to get everything squared away. Which is impossible, by the way. Absolutely impossible. All right, there's me.
So I have like weeks.
Oh, that's me again. Too loud. No sound. So the other thing is I found out the last one that you can pop out the chat, and I want to say it was probably mentioned more than once. Oh yeah, there we go. So if I put this up here, okay, cool. Oh, Lucky Ace is the one that said 8 p.m. is the new 7 p.m. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the other thing is I think the original one, just real quick, I think the original one was like, I'm clearly on the Eastern time zone. And I mentioned that, and then for the first one, it said that it was like 12 hours away, and but it was 11 hours away, the countdown. And I was like, so I mentioned that it was Eastern Standard Time, at least in the text or something like that. Stephen Turner, hello. So Moto Ali, Lucky Ace is riding. Long time no talk, right? We just talked. It was actually really cool that everybody was kind of getting on doing live. Get me hyped up. Might be the vodka lemonade, though. Oh, so speaking of that, I won't let you drink alone. I got the tall can of Monster, and there is a 21 and older Monster out there somewhere too. Might have to try that. Oh yeah, got me hyped up. Yeah, that music is actually pretty nice. Ah man, that's nice. That's nice. So one thing, real quick, YouTube and I, like we're pretty much like buds, but we're kind of like feuding right now. Because it bothers me a lot, actually, that if I hit, so Lucky Ace is riding, Moto Ali, right? If I'm, and Stephen Turner, I don't think you have videos. I know you have that profile picture of motorcycle, but I don't think you have videos. But, and correct me if I'm wrong, the adult Monster drinks are decent. Okay, yeah, all right. You heard it. You heard it here, second, third, or fourth. Probably heard it before. I'm behind the 8 ball on that. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try that. Maybe one of these streams, but feeling good, feeling confident. I'm not like super hot, but I also have a fan right underneath on my laptop, and the AC, the window unit's on. So, Restless Mule, what's up, man? Yeah. Now he yeah. You used to have at the end of yours. Oh, see here, I'm going on tangents. I got to start writing down all my stuff. And I also, are my lips syncing up with my words? Hopefully I did something that was different too, so hopefully that's better, because I know it was like a delay last time using the OBS. All right, one thing at a time. Good lord, pull the reins back here. I do like that I've got the chat pulled up, because I want to say that I was probably told a couple times, but Jen mentioned something about that, like hit the 3 dots, and I was like, I don't know what she meant, but clearly hit the 3 dots, and then it allows you to pop out the chat, which is nice. There's a way that I can put it in OBS too, but I haven't gotten that far yet, which is actually messed up, because at one point, a long time ago, I streamed on OBS for, not like I do now, and it was like editing videos and stuff, so I was like I was very, very small in a corner over here. There. Somewhere, and I could see the chat then, so I did it one time. Now I forgot. I don't know. It's kind of like the Egyptians, I guess, right? We knew how to move like all those metric tons of rock far distances and build pyramids. There's a conspiracy in there, but now we've forgotten how to do it. Oh, that the same thing as going to the moon, right? All right, gotta go. I gotta keep it on topic. Somehow NASA said we lost the trajectory to get back to the moon. Anyway, it's just math. It's no big deal. But I was gonna say, Restless Mule, you used to have like a drink at the end of your videos. So here's hit the mic. I got a chaser of water though too. I try and drink more water. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. All right, I think I can turn this off. Okay, I got you. I'm reading chat in 2 different places. Mentioned that you got just a few videos on channel, nothing recent. Are you? It just like popped in my head. Are you the one that had that bee or wasp or yellow jacket something that you gave a ride for a while? It might have been yours. I'm not 100% sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong or when I'm wrong. Audie does seem synced. Okay, cool. Yeah. I looked up a couple things since the last stream because it was off by like half a second or something. So that's nice that worked and that saved because OBS is nice. I hear it can crash a lot. Luckily, I haven't had that problem, but I've only just like my 3rd stream actually since getting back to it. So we shall see. But if it crashes, it crashes. Okay. All right. A couple things I've got on the. First of all, thank you all very much. I know I mentioned that I was going to stream on Thursday. And then on my wife's side of the family had a family emergency. So we ended up doing that and taking care of a couple things yesterday, pretty much all day. And so I appreciate y'all. I rescheduled this and here y'all are. And one thing with it being their weekdays, like a Wednesday or a Thursday, I mentioned, I think in the other live stream too, like I think, or maybe I didn't, maybe it was just in my head. It could be a thing, but I don't want to plug up anybody's Saturday, but of course, if you don't want to be here, you don't have to be here. Not going to hurt my feelings. So we'll leave it at that. All right. Oh yeah. See? Yeah, that was me. Okay. So I was right on that. Just a few videos. Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. I gave a ride for a little bit. Kept your composure too. Yeah. Yep. See? Oh, yeah, I got it. American Outlaw, I got to talk to you. Yep. What's up, buddy? Ayo. So, all right, I'll bounce right into that. Your left shoulder, American Outlaw, or am I looking at backwards? Married. Because nothing compared to what you're going through. I've got a new click on my shoulder, on my left shoulder. So, I went to the gym and I was doing good. I was feeling pretty good for an old man. And then I did one exercise with one of my buddies, and it wasn't proper technique. That's my biggest flaw. Well, one of my biggest flaws is actually going to the gym or not going to the gym. The other one is doing the workout. Oh, right shoulder. Okay. All right. So together, I'll donate my right shoulder. You donate your left shoulder. We'll be good to go. Yeah. And so it's getting better, but golly, man, I'm just one of those things I like, just like you. I hope it gets better, and I'm sure, especially with having surgery, it'll be better for you. So, yep. So keep it on. I did watch your video too. I just watched your video talking about the shed. It was the man shed. Now it's the backyard cathedral. Getting ready to get you set up for the wintertime and start doing your restoration on the Yamaha. So that's gonna be a fun series. Take your time. There's no rush. Like, if I can give you any advice on that, any advice is just have fun with it. And not that you're looking for advice, but I'm going to be overbearing and say that have fun with it. There's no rush. Film what you want to film. Don't film what you don't want to film. It's always better to have more film than you care for, so that you can always go back if you need something or whatever. Plus, you mentioned before, and I have like 6 videos right now that are unedited. I did 4 in one day. So I don't know if they're all going to be worthy of, well, what I deem worthy, which is pretty lackluster. If they'll all be worthy as far as me editing and putting them on YouTube. But you mentioned about it being kind of, I called it like a time capsule in one of my videos. Like, basically like why I think more people should record. And you don't necessarily have to put it on YouTube, or you could and put it unlisted, so you can share the link to certain people, family, friends, loved ones, and stuff like that. You don't have to serve it. I didn't mean to say serve it to the world, to share it to the world. But I think that there's something important about that too. And you pretty much, if people haven't seen it, I know it just came out over on American Outlaw's channel. He mentions not giving anything away. Just at the end, you're talking about like not having that stuff in the 80s. and I didn't have that stuff growing up either. And now that everybody has a cell phone, there's your big old video camera that everybody was putting on their shoulder. I remember my dad putting it on his shoulder, and or big tripod, and the dang on VHS tape that's bigger than a phone, twice the size of this, and much thicker, was what you recorded things on. So anybody needs to look that up. Yeah. No, I'll be fine. Yeah. You get better. All right, Moto's back. What's up, man? Yeah. And Moto Alley. And I'm trying to just. I do have a few things to talk about, but I definitely want to get involved with the conversation here. Moto Alley does. I got to look more at what you do because I want to be able to share it too on my channel. But I definitely do want one of your metal signs. I definitely want to buy one of those signs from you. So I'm excited about that, and I'll be able to put it on, boom, somewhere over here. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be neat. I just put these up the other day, and I think it looks like this one's a little uneven spacing, but whatever. I don't have that kind of OCD. Yeah. Oh, and American Outlaw got to represent with the Redskins blanket right there. Okay, let's catch up. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I think. Yeah, I'm for real. And you said Facebook is the best way to reach out. I got a Facebook. I don't really use it, but I do have one. Back when it was cool, right? Nah, I do have one, so I can definitely reach out to you on that because that would be kind of cool. Not kind of, that would be really cool, especially coming from you. I think that's more important than buying something like that. What do we got here? So let's I'm gonna dive into. I got a couple things here, so let me get on track of what we have. Our little discussion here, which I think I got it written down somewhere. I know I do. I can turn this off. I can turn this off. All right, I think that's good. Don't need that. Okay. The other thing one more thing I need to do is the auto ISO, so it tries to match up the lighting and how much light comes in, so it kind of flickers. And I know, Restless Mule, if you're still here, I will lose this camera after 30 minutes. So 15 minutes from now, I'm sure I will completely forget, even though there's a countdown that I can see. Just depends on where I'm looking. I'm sure of it. Yeah, see, I lost the chat. Chat's gone. I'm going to have to put it on my phone. As I would do two things at once. Impossible, they say. All right, so let's share this screen. So I thought this was cool. This is last week's video. I can do this. I know I can do this. I can do it. Yeah, okay, here we go. So last week's video, this was the, that's what it was. I think I had episode 100 or something. Here's my big dumb face. All right. And then I had a monster and an hour and a half to kill. And I got I can't say the K word probably. I got all my old videos. So the first thing I was going to talk about, I think, actually, let me just stay on task. All right, this is the first thing I want to talk about. And then I got a bit of a Debbie Downer moment, but it's just because it just came in, and it's just a kind of reminder. So I went ahead and did all the 100 videos here, all the thumbnails. I got to pull this chat up. I'll get better, I swear. I said that like 2 videos ago, two live streams ago, right? All right, let me do this. So I mentioned that it was fun to do something like that. I think to show, there we go, to show kind of I guess obviously it shows all my thumbnails and everything that I did, but man, I'm sorry, I'm completely lost right now. How you like that? I am completely lost. Everything is fine. There's a chat. Found it. I found it. DJ, what's up, man? Yeah. Got to catch you live. Yep. ADH kid. Yeah. Dude, it's only here, man. I swear. It's when I'm recorded. Am I sweating yet? Golly. All right. Let me get back to it. Somehow I got to move the chat where I can see it. That's just gonna be a constant battle until I figure this out. But either way, everything's fine. Let me get my dumb face off. I can't do it. I can't do it. All right, hold it together. So I think this is cool, like just to symbolize, I guess, or to show everything that, you know, the 100 videos worth. This is it. And that there's shorts, there's some that are popping off, you know, off the screen and stuff like that. But you know, for it to fit for the most part. And then you can see behind, I have some of it filled up, and I ended up putting my logo, so I was able to fill this whole spot up. So there's no the void spot of black or whatever. But that's actually what it looks like with the ones that are missing and stuff like that. So it was cool to see that, to be able to do this, to dive into it a little bit. Here we go. And we're live. To be able to do this has been a lot of fun for me. And, you know, it takes a lot of time. I won't say work, because this is one thing that I always wanted to say is, or for YouTube to be a part of. And Moto Alley, this is a conversation, if you're still here. Me and My Shadow was just going live. You went live earlier. And then me, obviously, now, when I was talking about like quitting YouTube, and a quick story on that, like as far as like to quit, and you said, you know, Mama didn't raise no quitter, which is awesome. But what I'm getting at is I joke with my friend about like giving up. You just got to give up, right? So one of my buddies at work, he's been promoted to lieutenant. He's a lieutenant at one of the busier like EMS fire stations. So it's a fire station, but they have a lot of assisted living, elderly, and all that other stuff around. So they run quite a bit. There's a lot of commercial businesses, so they don't have a lot of fires, right? Structure fires. They don't go to a lot of structure fires. And I saw him at the academy. And he said, you know, he was like, sometimes I just want to cook breakfast, and I just want to like sit down with the crew while it's warm, and I just want to eat it uninterrupted. And I laughed. I was like, man, I get it. I've been at my station for my whole career. Add the academy in, it's 19 years. So add the academy time all together. And then I've been at the same fire station, which is not very common, but I've been at the same fire station the whole time. And we get interrupted a lot of meals. So, or we miss meals. I call it accidental fasting, you know, as a joke. And I don't really get bothered by it, because I already know like the odds of me eating is a benefit, is a luxury or whatever. So I don't really like sleeping and eating while I'm getting paid is a benefit, right? Being able to work out at the during hours or whatever is a benefit. So I told him, I looked at him, I was like, man, I hear you. I got you, man. I got you. But just like Moto Alley, like I told you, I said, man, you know what you got to do? You just got to give up. You just got to give up. So here he is thinking I'm going to give him like this most profound, like inspirational speech or, you know, kind of agree with him and stuff like that, and say like, yeah, I don't know why everybody calls. They must have there's a joke that there's a camera in the kitchen. They know when we sit down or hit the chow bell. And you just got to give up, man. You just got to give up, man. I said, you know, the last time I've come back for breakfast at, you know, breakfast is ready, let's say at 9 o'clock. And then I get back at 10:15, 10:30. And I look at those eggs and I grab the plate and I said, thanks for cooking. And I eat it. You know, the last time I told them that I've actually warmed up a meal, it's been like 10, 12, 15 years. The only time I warm up my meal is if somebody actually warmed it up, you know, or left it in the oven or whatever to keep it warm. So I you know, we shared a good laugh or whatever. But that same thing is about YouTube, and I'm tying it all together surprisingly, you know. But to do YouTube and to kind of like really take your time and you know, not just film it and setting everything up. Lucky Ace is riding. He did, when he got the Boom Raider, he did the unboxing of it, and you know, did great job with like the camera angles. I mentioned that in the comments. Like everybody could see everything that was being worked on. And yeah, there you go. Yeah, just gotta not care. And no, I'm not. So American Outlaw, I'm not quitting. I'm just saying, like, in general, like, you have to. I've been tied to, like, I mean, I looked at YouTube Studios like an ungodly amount of time, and I'm actually, like, full disclosure, not looking for any comments. Like, if I could mute the chat, I would right now. But I'm really, really bad at YouTube. Like when it comes to YouTube, like, I mean, that's a video in its own that I need to probably do. Like how I've already taken screenshots. Like, you know, it shows like the last 48 hours, like how many people have like clicked a video or watched a video and stuff like that. Like it's abysmal, you know, sometimes. So, and I understand to make these 100 videos, you know, where I am, and 101 coming up on Sunday. It's already uploaded. It is, you have to want to do it. Otherwise, you give yourself an unnecessary amount of stress. And it's not worth it because there's so many other things in life that are stressors, the good and the bad stress. There is such a thing as good stress, believe it or not. But the good and bad, you just gotta give up. You know, certain things are out of your control, and it's okay. It's perfectly fine. So doing these videos, I mean, if you look at these thumbnails, and I mean, I probably can zoom in on these. How do you do that? Yeah, it's right here. Boom. So like all these thumbnails, like all these pictures, or they're all over the place. I mean, if you think about it, right? So you know, I talk about my first job and you know, the dog, and you know, kind of these up top here were just what they gave me. These all one, two, three, four, five. These are all what YouTube gave me as thumbnails. I didn't know how to make thumbnails, and I won't ever change it. You know, I won't change my titles, and that's why I say I do it wrong, because you're supposed to, if you really want to succeed, I guess, in YouTube and succeed in their way. It depends on how you. I've mentioned before about like success in YouTube. The definitions are different for everybody. But I would go back and redo all these thumbnails, especially the first one, because anytime I find like somebody that I really enjoy, I'll go back to like their first video, for example, and kind of see how it started, how the YouTube started and stuff like that. And oftentimes, depending on how long they're doing it, they're you know, vastly different. And I'm no different, but especially you can look at the title and the thumbnail and stuff. And I know I'm supposed to change that, but I won't. And that's why I said I'm terrible. I'm terrible at it. So, but this just, like I said, like American Outlaw, like you were saying, it's you know, it's something that family and friends, loved ones can go back and look back on these videos of you, and it's a time capsule. There's my dog, you know, talking about my dog when Macy passed away, and some other story. I mean, every one of these is a story, and then that's another thing. So Restless Mule, I'll look at the comments in a second, but this video that we did, the interview and everything, like that's why I mentioned, like I have 98 other videos. I have shorts. I have some lives, some other stuff's not numbered as episodes, but just simplicity's sake, that's why I said episode 99, and then 100 being the one you're looking at now. Overall, that's all my story. So to be able to tell somebody else's story is definitely a lot of fun for me, and I enjoyed. I mean, I've mentioned several times, and I mentioned again, I really enjoyed hearing some of the stuff I knew and a lot of stuff I didn't know, but hearing you tell your story was really, really a lot of fun. And I was joking about I'm the Temu version of Barbara Walters. So yeah. Oh yeah, let's see, the collage. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. He lies. He's quitting. Yeah. Let me catch back up. Okay. Am I still alive? Yeah. Okay, good. Excellent. Yeah, I'm gonna end up talking to myself. Okay, let's just let that go. All right, catch up. Yeah, I'm not quitting. I did have a video here. I can go back here and see it. Where's the lady from the Titanic's on it? Last February. This one. See, I can just blow it up. Yeah, that one. It's been 57 days. That's when I came back, and the video before that was, oh shoot, that's not it. Come back. This one. Position. Got to bring it to the front. All right, this one right here. So last year, this is the video where I was, I guess, stopping indefinitely. I had a bunch of stuff with work and everything, but I don't plan on ever quitting. I might, if I need to go away for, you know, a certain time or whatever, handle some stuff, I don't put it on me to release a video every Sunday like I used to, where like even the beginning it said, you know, like new video every Sunday. Now it says just, it reads on the bottom left, it reads, you know, new video Sunday. So I actually stepped away for a little bit here and needed to get some stuff done. Extremely busy, and came back 57 days later. All right, I think we're good on that. So I guess the gist of it is I really, really enjoy, I mean, I would say borderline love YouTube, but I'm terrible at it. And to mention another thing, I read a comment. So I was watching, almost an American Outlaw. I did watch that. I said that. Me and My Shadow. I was watching. He had 2 videos in the live today, so I watched both those videos, and one of them was Lucky Aces riding. You mentioned about, or he. All right, so me and My Shadow had something to send in your shadow pictures and all that other stuff, and the deadline was April 4th. I sent mine in from my Instagram account that I had, and I can pull it up right here. Transition, boom. So I sent in this picture, and this is a video. It actually disappeared. This stuff disappears, but is it gonna play? Yeah, probably. Can't play the music, but so I was able to, like, you know, through Lightroom, Photoshop, whatever, you blur the background and you can eliminate this. So I sent this picture in. At the end of the video, what it does, I sent that picture in, and it's really cool what he did. I liked it a lot, not just with shadow owners, but in general to be able to show other people's motorcycles. I guess like showcase. That was like the word of episode 100. I just have a word of the day because I said that like 3 times. But that was cool. And then there was a conversation between him and Lucky Aces about that last time. I guess he sent a picture. They might have got a copyright. Well, and then he said, well, I sent mine in, but I'm monetized. I am not monetized on YouTube at all. Like, honestly, so I have like 1,200 subscribers, but my watch time is like abysmal. And I'm cool with that. Like I said, I do things very different here. And that's why I say, like, when you talk about like giving up and stuff as a joke, that might be should be the title of this, is just give up. It is what it is at this point. So my 30 minutes is almost up. Thank you. Yeah. Let's see what you're going to be right on the money too. Let's see. I don't see it yet. So we'll bypass this. So I'm going to go dark for a second. Oh, the shoulder. But I'm back. Stephen Turner, thank you. Now we got another 30 minutes. Yeah. Camera, that's right. Your 30 minutes is almost up. All right, that's awesome. Yeah, you guys got to be the ones to alert me in my undiagnosed ADHD. Oh, it scared me. I thought my live went away, but it was just it's backwards, or it's slow. So everything went black, but it was the camera going black. Okay, so that's just I want to talk about the previous 100 videos, you know, and I don't want to go too much involved in that, because that's something completely different. I want to say something like this is I got a notification, and this wasn't on the docket, but I got a notification. I'm in the Hampton Roads area, so it's northeastern. It's northeastern North Carolina or southeastern Virginia. So Hampton Roads, I get notifications like the local news. And I've mentioned before on a video about Restless Mule, you actually asked the question about, like, you know, does your thoughts or opinions differ or change as being a firefighter, or your approach, I should say. And it was a video, this one right here. Oh, can't see it. Just kidding, right here. So this one right here, I've talked about that before. And in the video, if I'm not mistaken, at some point I talk about how anytime there's a car fire, you don't hear it on the news. Now, what happens is, if there is a Tesla fire, EV vehicle, especially Tesla, when it was starting to, you know, persevere and kind of gain dominance over the EV industry, big oil. Here's the conspiracy. So I said the K word, and now I said conspiracy. But these talking head videos on like Stock Talk or whatever, and all those other people on TV that act like they know what they're doing or they're saying or why the market goes up and why the market goes down. Well, they're brought to you by Ford. They're brought to you by big oil companies or something like that. So, when it comes down to it, as like when Tesla stock was soaring and Teslas were gaining popularity, they wanted to like harp on the bad things to try to like punish the stock or punish the whatever. And then it was inevitable. It took over, and it is what it is. And now it's obviously losing ground. So the same could be said about a motorcycle accident, okay, or collision. It's going to make the news, and this and this as well. And this is kind of that Debbie Downer moment, but at the same time, thoughts and prayers go out. No name, didn't read the article, but there was all it says in Hampton, there was a 62-year-old motorcyclist that died, and that was about an hour before I went live originally. So I get notifications to my phone, obviously, to for the local news, and it kind of it puts things. I've mentioned before, you don't have to make the mistake to learn from a mistake, and not saying that person made a mistake. I don't know the story, and I'll read about it after I end this, but. We have a lot of fun. Everybody here has a motorcycle or American Outlaw, parts of a motorcycle, right? All jokes aside. And there's so many benefits, right? The therapeutic aspect of it, to getting away, fun, whether it's adrenaline, whether it's just, just to clear your head, whether it's just something, a means of transportation. There's all different varieties that people are into for riding, why they choose to ride. But at the end of the day, people need to remember how dangerous it is, and not necessarily, it may not be you and your motorcycle, but it may be the other people surrounding you. Okay, they say everybody's trying out there to kill you and all that other stuff. When they're riding, said it again. I guess what, I'm not monetized, so it doesn't matter. But all joking aside, like can be a jarring reminder about like how serious this is, and so thoughts and prayers go out to the unknown person, individual, and their family. But at the same time, y'all just be careful. Like I said, you don't, not that he or she made a mistake, but you don't have to make a mistake to learn from it or just be reminded. So catch up real quick here. I'm gonna type something in so I can read it. I'm typing in test, but it means nothing. It's literally so I can read American. You just typed in something too. Lucky Ace is writing. There's a heart, and I couldn't read everything you said. Talking about you did a similar video about a year ago and had to re-edit it. I like the concept in the viewer showcase. That's probably something I was talking about earlier. Motovlog thing is one of the easiest things. If you ask to compare. Motovlogging thing is one of the easiest things if you ask me to compare. So I need to get better at looking at this. I'm not sure if you're talking to me or talking to... I'm sorry. And Lucky Ace, if you're talking about being a lot at times overwhelming to think about, if you're talking about the videos, and I'm kind of moving on to another topic, but if you're talking about like everything with YouTube, I'm just gonna assume that's what you're talking about. Yeah, it can give you unnecessary like stress, anxiety. I'm not very anxious. I'm not going live the last time. I feel pretty good right now, and I have to thank you all for that. But it just, I'm not very anxious, and I don't have anxiety for YouTube. More uneasiness, I guess. I don't know if that's a cop out in words, but more uneasy doing live and being in front of the camera. But it is, it's easier. It's not easy, but it's easier the more you do it. No different than talking and writing, I guess, while I have a GoPro strapped to my mask. My mask. I don't like the fire department. My helmet. Yeah, I got you, American Outlaw. Yeah, wrenching is your passion. Yeah, your past history, right? Riding is the cherry on the cake, right? So that's, I'm really looking forward to like down the road when it happens, because it's going to happen. But when you turn the key and if it has a starter or however that Yamaha 1970, 74, 75, I'm trying to get it right. I think you said 74. Like when it starts up and runs, that's gonna be a great feeling. And you better record it. That's one thing I say you got to record. And then this stupid heart's in the way. So look, Ace is talking about, watch, I'm going to hit test again, watch. This is literally, don't worry about tests, so move it up. As far as holding yourself to a schedule, feeling like you have to upload something. Yeah. And that's the whole thing about, and I'll move on from this, but like the whole thing about YouTube and the algorithm and stuff, and Restless Mule and I have talked about, you know, it quite extensive and joked around about the gurus and YouTube's on easy mode and blah, blah, blah. You know, I really enjoy watching those videos. I mentioned to him, and I mentioned, I'm pretty sure on here before too, I enjoy watching the videos about how to do YouTube, but I just, I listen to it, but at the same point, like, I think that we all would, I mentioned before, like, talk about community, and I'd rather have 10 people that enjoyed what I do than, you know, 1,000 the other way. You know, like, it's the subscriber count, not to take anything away from anybody, but the subscriber count is a vanity metric. And YouTube, why it bothers me right now, here you go. Here's a little quick tangent. Let me get my sip on. Why YouTube is bothering me right now is because Motor Alley went live today. Ride of a Lifetime went live a couple weeks ago, I think, a week and a half ago or something. Me and My Shadow went live. I don't know why I'm having trouble thinking. Went live. And only reason I knew that Me and My Shadow went live is because I happened to be on my phone and I clicked on YouTube. I have notifications. Everybody here, I have notifications turned on, like the bell. So YouTube is different now where it doesn't notify you every time. Like if you watch that person's video, it'll notify you of an upload or something like that. But honestly, I haven't gotten a notification and my notifications are on, and it's been like over a week since I got a notification about anybody's stuff. Restless Mule, yours included. And I watch your video, you know, when it was on weekly or every other week when it comes out. And it was like, I don't know if it was a day later or something, but I happened to go on YouTube and it popped up on my For You, the homepage and stuff. So, and I know that they do, YouTube is done. I know enough about YouTube. They put it on so that they want to keep you engaged on the video or on the site, and then click other videos and stuff like that. But I can't for the life of me. Like, I wish I could just, I pay for YouTube Premium. I'm already paying for it. Just how about, you know, if I gotta kick another $2 just to get notifications by the people I want, the subscriptions that I want to get notified, just notify me. That's what's crazy. I don't understand it. So I miss people's live, and I don't want to do that because I think this is what separates, you know, channels. Because instead of having, you know, a video or something like that, to be able to have that conversation, to ask something or to engage in a conversation that I'm having right now with people that are watching my videos or that's here in the live in the present time, you know, to answer that. And I think that's awesome, but they don't do it for some reason. I don't know. American Outlaw is another one that I've missed a bunch of your lives. Okay, so Lucky Ace is saying that you do not have the bells clicked. That's what I think it says. There's a heart in the way. I can't read it. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they do it. Well, I mean, I know why, but it's like they want... It's like YouTube Shorts. When you're scrolling through it, doom scrolling, I guess they call it. All the cool kids are calling it. When you scroll through, you it feeds you different things based on the algorithm. Instagram, the same thing, blah, 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 whatever. And it's going to get to the point where it's like, I know they were talking about, like, even they got rid of the thumbs down button because that was offensive, I guess, or whatever. So that was a big thing, because if I watched a video on how to fix a Yamaha, a 1974 Yamaha, and if I just saw a bunch of thumbs up, then I would know that this is a good video that I would get my information on. If I saw a lot of thumbs down or something, then I knew that this is probably not the video to get a how-to on. So that was an issue that they got rid of years ago. And whatever, I guess they know better. It'll show you how many thumbs down you got, but I guess it was too offensive. All right, I guess moving on. What was I talking about next? Let's see. This is my cheat sheet. I'll show you. This button. So I got my Instagram pulled up here. All right, 100 videos later. Oh, I skipped over the state of the Honda Shadow Phantom being MIA. It's gone. It's gone. I don't have it. There's nothing below me right now in the garage. There's nothing. Zero. Honda Shadow's gone. It's gone. So I made a video. I'm like halfway through it or whatever. And the good news is the spoiler, you guys will be able to know that first, is since it's during the live, is that everything's okay. I'm getting new tires. It's in the shop right now. There's a couple of things I still want to do. I want to change the oil, change out the brake fluid, and the air filter. I want to clean everything out. I want to restart everything back to my zero. So knowing how many miles it was, the date it was changed, all the other stuff. It doesn't have a terrible amount of miles on it. It's garage kept. It's a lot of city miles because I don't travel a lot of miles on my like long distances or anything like that. Not yet. There's something else maybe I want to talk about too. Lucky Aces. But it's a lot of 30-minute rides out in my country area around here that I can do. It's not huge country open land, but it's stuff that's not developed because it's developed as in farmland. So it's nice that we still have that in Hampton Roads because they're building everything. Everything is getting built up around here. Let's see, American Outlaw. Okay, we're gonna remove the heart thing. Okay, let's see if I hold it. Heart my own stuff. I don't know. It needs to go away. Oh well. So I made a video on it, and I'm gonna go into it a little bit. I got extremely lucky. Extremely lucky, very fortunate that something bad didn't happen. But the gist of it is, I got to work. I didn't take the interstate that morning. I was restless mule. I started filming more of my rides, not necessarily to edit or to talk, but you mentioned that you film in that interview. You mentioned that you film all your rides in case something cool happens. Well, I was doing it just to have something. I've tested the 360 out a little bit. I got a couple videos with that in play to edit out of the 6 videos that I have to edit. And I got to work, and essentially I went the back way just because it's better. It's more lit for the GoPro, and I'm able to obviously see better with it. And now that daylight savings time, it's dark in the morning when I go to work. And I made my last turn, and there's a lot of gravel at the last turn going into the back of the station. There's a police station there and everything, and I may have picked something up there. But to the point where I said I got extremely lucky. I make a joke, and I'm gonna stop making this joke. And it's basically I even mentioned I pointed out the camera as I'm talking to the camera in this video that I'm gonna edit for not Sunday as in tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow, but the following week that video will come up. But I wore a spot. I mean, it's so bad to the point where y'all know better. Apparently, I don't. So I said it's, once again, you don't have to make the mistake to learn from it. Well, y'all probably know better. I'm sure you do. And so I was pointing to myself in the camera lens, for future reference. But when I've inspected my tires before, but a lot of times you can only see, I'll look at the outside of the tire with the bags and stuff. A lot of it's covered. A lot of the real estate, the surface of the tire itself, that actually the patch that touches the ground is covered between the wheel well and everything and the bags, like I said. So there's only this much of your tire, a hand, 7 inches or so, 6, 7, 8 inches that you can actually see of your tire. So unless you roll it back, and I'm going to get to the point where I think that every time I get on the bike, I'm going to do my own, for my own sake, whether I do a 360 or at least approach it from the back. Because I see a lot of my front tire because I'm going to get on the bike coming from my garage to, and I'll see a big majority of my front tire, but I don't ever see the rear tire. Well, apparently I stopped one good stop, and it had a wear spot on it. So when I was pushing my bike in the bay at the fire station, not even 5 minutes after I got off it, opened the bay door, did something, whatever, at my locker, came back, and then pushed my bike in. And I noticed it was harder to push in than usual. and there's a little bit of an incline and stuff. And I talk about this in the video, so y'all getting a little heads up ahead of time on a random Saturday night. That should have been Thursday, but I had to reschedule anyway. And as I pushed it up, I had Steve's out every time I ride to. Oh, you said, oh, sorry, I saw Rock on Steve. Yeah, I record every time I ride to. Yeah, that was a tip from Restless Mule. So as I pushed up the incline, it was like a lot harder than usual, and I was like, man, I ain't lose this strength. What's going on here? Man, yeah, you got to push that 40 years old, and all of a sudden things changed. But I got up there, and I was like, well, that's odd. And I looked at the tire, and it was kind of like, it was a little off, but I was like, let me do like the hand test. So I squeezed it, and it depressed a little bit. So I looked at the front. I was like, there's no way it should have done that. Did the front, squeeze it. Of course, nothing happened. Can't squeeze it. I'll go to my Instagram account because I got a picture of it. Essentially, so Instagram, if you follow me over there, you get a heads up. I post like something every day. I try to post one thing every day on Instagram and then add a little song to it or whatever. But that's what I saw, and I was like, well, that ain't good. So if you follow me on Instagram, this was 5 days old. It already showed that, you know, I was out, and I talked about how dumb I was, you know, that I did it. I backed the bike up essentially, and my buddy said, oh, is this it? And I looked at it and I was embarrassed. I was like, yeah, that's it. So I wore a spot, and I probably picked up like right at the end. I think that's why I was talking about as I made the last turn into the back of the station. There's a lot of gravel, that maybe something punctured it there or whatever. And that was all she wrote. I'm very lucky, very fortunate. I was, you know, God was looking out for me that day, that I didn't take the interstate, and then something, you know, if it was already worn, that I didn't have an incident at you know 65 miles an hour, you know, going down, blowing a tire. You only get 2 tires. So that was my mistake. That was a huge mistake, and I am perfectly fine with telling on myself. I'm perfectly fine with that. I laugh at myself. I tell on myself. I think more people should, because one thing with the fire service is we constantly, if there's a fatality in the fire department, everybody's an open book. There's no, you hear on the police side, and I'm not knocking the police, but on the police side, they do an internal investigation and found no harm, no foul, whatever, blah blah blah, whatever. The fire department and people, and that rubs people the wrong way, and just pretend everything is true. If there's no harm, no foul, and we'll be done with that conversation. In the fire department, if something bad happens, or, you know, especially, you know, unfortunately people die, you know, in the fire department, there's an open investigation. You know, agencies come in, they do their own report. There's several reports. The department themselves do a report, and they release like an after action report, and they try to find ways to make it so it doesn't ever happen again. And I love the fire service for that, because they don't try to cover up blemishes. They try to learn from blemishes. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. So I joked about needing new tires. I had new tires. I turned those tires in. I'm getting new tires. Everything's good, to the point where, honestly, the tires I have, I'm not using those tires. I'm getting brand new tires, like as in like whatever, a couple months old to brand new, whatever's in the dealership right now. So even the tires that I've had for years, that's what makes it even worse. But I'll tell myself, in my garage, I'm not even using those tires, because, you know, it could have been bad, could have been real bad. Could have been real bad. Jen, what's up? Yeah, better late than never. Yeah. No, you're good. It's Saturday. I apologize. The beginning of this, it was supposed to be Thursday. Short story, family emergency on my wife's side. You know, dealt with that, and then dealt with that yesterday as well, trying to take care of everything that we needed to take care of. So I wasn't intending to be on a Saturday night. My wife's working, so I'm free. But for the fact that y'all are here is, you know, I really appreciate it. That's awesome. So trying to still work on the chat. I gave you props, Jen, because I think pretty sure it was you that mentioned how to pull the chat out of YouTube and move it over. I did that, and then I lost it. It's somewhere on my desktop. I found it again, and then every time I click to do this transition, it goes away again. So I'm a work in progress here. Okay. Yeah, but awesome. Thank you for that. So I still got you on the phone here. I'm watching myself in like 3 different, uncomfortably, I'm watching myself in 3 different like locations right now, I think. But I was just telling myself the tires are coming. That's when I mentioned about, you know, where is the shadow? Going back to this conversation here. So 100 videos later, we talked about state of the shadow, where it is. That's where it is. It's in the Honda dealership right now. I tried to fly the drone, and I was only able to get like 15 feet up because that's a military installation in Virginia Beach, so it only lets you go fly the drone like 15 feet, which is fine. So the video that I'm going to work on, that drone shot wasn't so good, but I did get a drone shot where I was loading the bike up, so that's pretty cool. And that was, I go over like loading the bike, and I've never used loaded a bike on a trail. I've never trailered anything, so that was definitely nerve wracking. I'd say I don't have anxiety, but my nerves were uneasy. The pits were sweating, the forehead was sweating. Let's see, further dialogue, episode 100. Okay, let me dive into that real quick. We're gonna move on here. Boom. Anything else? Oh, okay. Hey, man, that's really nice of you. Lucky Aces. Yeah. Well, I know that, and we were both on a live for I always want to call him Tim. I know he volunteers his name, but me and my shadow, like over on his live, he was talking about doing this like weekly and stuff like that. And I think you should. I think that's pretty cool. And if you're comfortable, man, I mean, yeah, do it. But one thing with this is, and I think I'll always throw it out on Instagram and do a post. I'm kind of getting away from like the whole YouTube post, just because I don't know. I do. Lucky, I like yours are pretty comical, but I used to like kind of advertise. I try to advertise like my my videos and stuff, and I was like, I do that on Instagram. I don't want to do it on just because I like posting on Instagram. Jen, I know that you're over there, Moto Alley, over there, Lucky Aces, on Instagram and stuff like that. I mentioned, Jen, you were out, but I'm trying to do like one item on Instagram a day, because I think that's fun, just kind of like background stuff. And I don't do shorts on YouTube, so I've been throwing them over there, so it's been fun messing with that. And I think when I start getting better at taking pictures and stuff, I'll start putting up there. But my goal is like for a whole year at least, I want to do that. And I think I'm all the way up to like January 27th or 28th. I think I've posted one, minus maybe give or take a day or so. So just kind of an unofficial challenge for me that I was doing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Rusty Mule, Lucky Aces memes are always great. Yep, absolutely. But no, I appreciate each and every one of y'all obviously being here. So it does, man, it means something. Come on, it means a lot. It means a lot. Because I would talk to, I know the joke, Moto Alley, about he should be working by now. I don't know, what was he texting? He's got to go to work. Some white walls would look good on the bike, huh? Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's not terrible. It's not terrible, especially with the black kind of like contrast. I'm excited about the new tires though, and then I'm gonna do, like I said, I'm gonna change the oil out because I want to reset that timer. It's not necessarily due, but miles, or actually it might be. Either way, I'm gonna change it out. So I might film that, just have a garage day. I might do a live where I'm just changing out the oil and the brake fluid. I saw something online too. Lucky Aces, you probably done it, and Moto Alley probably done it, but changing out the brake fluid, and they were doing it reverse. So instead of obviously coming in from the top, they were going to the bottom with some tubing, and essentially would push all the air out and exhaust the air that way. And you're not. The theory would be you push the air out to get the fluid to rise to the top, and you're not wasting as much because it's not just constantly draining to the point where you get the old brake fluid out and a new one in, and then make sure that you bleed your brakes and all that other stuff. So it was interesting. It was Revzilla, I want to say, on YouTube. It was pretty neat. So I'm gonna try that. Why not? Yeah. So completely drain it, and then hook it up with some syringes, like 100 cc, 60 cc, or whatever at a time. And I might actually just build something where it has like you can cap it off, stop it, and then take the 60 cc syringe off, fill it back up. And I think Tractor Supply has all that stuff. So I'm gonna look into that. Way behind on the oil change. Probably, yeah, maybe not wrong. Maybe not wrong. Yeah, and you don't have to watch the replay. But I was gonna say I kind of just divulged some information about like where the shadow is now. It's in the shop and all that stuff. New tires. I don't know how much you call on that, but I told on myself quite a bit, and don't be me. So learn from my mistakes. You don't have to make mistakes. So I know I've kind of joked a lot about maintenance and all that stuff, but I probably shouldn't, because there are other people that watch this that I don't do it. I do it because I'm a mess, and I do procrastinate. So I'm working on it. I'm work in progress here. All right. So let me dive into the 100 episodes. So it was mentioned on Me and My Shadow. We'll keep wanting to say Tim. Me and My Shadow's live. It was mentioned about, and it was mentioned in the comments. And I'll pull those comments up now. I'll show you what I was actually prepared for. Let me share my screen again here. So this is, that's not right. This, boom. I have a whole thing. Look at this. I have a whole thing here just for lives that I've added to. Okay. So I have the comments actually here, which is nice because I can see them and they're somewhat organized. So to go over episode 100, which is, if those who don't know, everybody here probably knows, but this was episode 100 and it was, you know, I talk about my library and I talk about, you know, the interview with Restless Mule. And I mentioned that I don't want to seek anybody out because I don't want to add pressure to anybody. I don't want to say, hey, let's do an interview so-and-so. And it got mentioned in a live on Me and My Shadows, hey, so-and-so would be a great person to interview. And I think that person, you know who you are. Person would be excellent to interview. However, I want to make sure that that person or anybody is not pressured or anxious or whatever. Like, I'm not worried about it at all. Like, if it never happens, if I never interview another person, I'm going to kind of advertise, I think, in my descriptions. If I never interview another person, then that's fine. It was just something. It was fun to do. Restless Mule, if you're still here, yeah, I will bug you. Out of all the people, I will apply the pressure on you. So we'll do something again or whatever, or maybe we can go back and forth in something. But I think it'd be fun. Like, just it's like. Doesn't have to be. It's not live. It could be live. It could be all this other stuff. There's other ways to do stuff like StreamYard and have people. I think up to like 6 or 8 people can be in a room at once. So there's definitely like avenues to do all this stuff. So it's actually pretty cool. To another wrinkle to the channel and stuff. Another reason why. Watch this. Why you don't do YouTube right, firefighter? Yeah. Because you bounce all over the place. You are not consistent. But like I said, it's all good. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so comment. Jen, perfect timing. You're here. Let me see the comments here. Everything good? That's funny. If you just wait behind the old Jens. I mean, come on now. Brake bleeder thing at Harbor Freight or similar. It made things much easier. Okay, so Lucky Ace is riding. Mentioned it. Definitely get a brake bleeder thing from the Harbor Freight. Yep. There's actually one not too far from here, too. Harbor Freight. Okay, definitely look into that. Oh, yeah, look at Steven Turner on it again. Let's go. 2 for 2. All right, I'm going to go dark for a second. Yeah, actually, it was about to go. And I'm going to come back. But I'm still here. You can still hear me. You just can't see me. Steven Turner, let's go. With the win. That's awesome. All right, cool. All right, 30 minutes. Let's go. Thank you. Not pressuring people. Yeah. Yeah. See, Restless Mule. I told you. I could pressure you, though. We've been talking. We talked about this like I mentioned. It was November. Yeah. There will be. I'm telling you, you don't even know it yet. There'll be a 2.0. Okay, yeah. All right. I'm writing it down. American Outlaw said, "I'd love to join your live if you do it." Okay. So that's one thing. Let's spend like 2 minutes on this real quick. I think I can talk about it in 2 minutes. Boom. 2 minutes. Start the clock. StreamYard is a free service. And I'd be willing to pay for the month if need be, you know, just to have one or whatever. But my understanding is StreamYard, and that's what we use. Restless Mule and I. It was a free like 14-day trial, so we could both be at 1080p or whatever rather than 720. I know he was using his laptop webcam or whatever. But I think I have to look at it again. If you have the free version, you can only get 2 hours of recording time. But I think lives you might be able to do forever, but you have the mallard duck. You have the male duck will be like in the corner, which I really don't care. I could care less about that. I'm sure we can make a joke out of that. But that's the case, and we'd all be 720. 720. I look way better in 720. For what is it? 380. What's the lowest it goes to? I don't even know. I should know. 420. I don't know. So 720, I would look awesome in. Much better. But that would be cool to get a bunch of us, especially the ones that have been here for a bunch of live streams, just to kind of hang out, talk, and do whatever, do what I'm doing now, come up with a topic or whatever. That'd be honestly, that'd be a lot of fun. It's definitely something I thought about, but I can't do it just by myself. I can't have 5 other people on. If it's just me, yeah. Let's see what else we got. Oh, is it? What awesome jacket does he have? Is it the racing jacket? He needs to wear that sling too, that sleeve. I got you though. Forever is a long time to live stream. Yeah. Well, you know what I mean. The lower the resolution, the better. Yeah. Hey man, you were in 720, and I'll say, you look good in 720. That's funny. Yeah, 1080. I needed to bump down. All right, going off the rails. But honestly, like 720 is not bad, and it's free. So I definitely would be down, figure something out. But another thing I want to do is I want to be able to do that, but have all of us be able to stream it at the same time for your respected channels, because I wouldn't want. I mean, it is what it is. Like to come on here and do interviews, but if anybody wanted to do something live, to be able to boost your YouTube channel, your platform, or whatever, or if you went live on Instagram or whatever, I don't really know how you can do it, because I know that if I go live, I had to think about that. I'm sure the YouTube gurus have it. All right, that was way more than 2 minutes. Oh, the Indian Crusader from Australia. Yeah, so it's 9:03 today, p.m. today. It's today, at today, 9 o'clock today. Dude, what's up, man? Yeah, you had a video, I think, yesterday come out, so I gotta watch that. I think you're leaving Tasmania. I think that's what it is. I think it's a farewell. So those of you, all right, I gotta talk like this for a second. The Indian Crusader is well, obviously he rides an Indian. That'd be kind of weird, I guess, if he rode a Harley. You can ride whatever you want, but man, awesome dude. Threw me for a loop when he was talking about kangaroos crossing and stuff and watching out for kangaroos. But I mentioned 11 a.m., so you're early, man. Yeah. I'm already at work 11 a.m. I'm 4 hours into my shift. That's nice. So anyway, it doesn't matter. So it's really cool. He's got a great channel. Does awesome. I wrote him a comment that he really hates motorcycles, and he's really works for a travel agency because he's in Tasmania right now, and the opening where you use your drone and your footage and everything is it was really, really good. Like, I mean, I'm being honest. It was really, really good. I mean, I wrote a comment, so I don't think I would be dishonest in a comment, and I'm really not being dishonest now as I look directly in the lens and say that. But awesome channel for a good cause. Footy boots, that makes me laugh, because footy boots are cleats. We call them cleats, like athletic cleats or football cleats or soccer cleats or rugby cleats. Still haven't seen you miss a shot in rugby, but yeah, so definitely check out his channel. It's really good. 30 minutes. Your videos are typically 30 minutes long, and they fly by. So a lot of times I'll have anybody's here. I'll have your video on here, and sometimes I watch y'all stuff twice, because I'll watch it through, and I'll be writing comments, or if I'm editing, and then I'll watch it again like a second time, and maybe that's just me, but I have a lot of time when my wife works nights, so I'm here with the dog. But awesome dude. Yeah, Indian Crusader and Whisker74 are my Australian friends. I want to say there's another one. I can't for life of me figure out who the other person was. Yeah, Tasmania magnificent. Yeah, I know. And you mentioned too that like there's so much to see. Talk about Australia, and that's another thing I really enjoy is and I've mentioned it before, but YouTube. The how's my 2 minutes going? Is that clock still running? YouTube, one of the things I find extremely fascinating is you can see like all over. I've never gone to Australia. The likelihood of me going to Australia is not great. Okay. Elon Musk hasn't built a tunnel yet. It's not great. But through Indian Crusader, your video, it's such a topic of discussion right now. Seeing your videos and you show off Australia to somebody like me in the United States on the East Coast that has seen some pictures, some videos, whatever, the accent, like all the other stuff. You run into people and have great interactions and everything, and and you get to like show off, and we get to, I guess, I mean, it is, you get to live vicariously through people, whether it's a different state, the United States, it's Swinglish in Sweden, you know, all over the globe, you know, in Australia, obviously I talk about. So Australia, no. Tasmania, no. I haven't been, like, our part of Australia, but it's just neat to see that, you know. And what was that? Whiskers74 said something about a red kangaroo is like a kangaroo that just was released from prison. So I would never have known how big a red kangaroo is and how tough they are, but that's it. Yep. But I hope you have a great day. I know you're 11 a.m. You're already started the day, but I know you're probably busy. But I'll say that just does a lot of great causes. Footy footy boots for the kids. Yeah, I laugh at it because it sounds funny, but yeah, raising money or for cleats or raising for cleats or whatever, however you want to say it. I think that's awesome to be able to do that. And that's one of my goals too, is to one day down the road, if this takes off, is to be able to do like lives and do like fundraisers and stuff. I think that'd be a lot of fun. So. Yes, absolutely beautiful. Yep, riding around Lucky Ace. Talk about somebody else that rode around Tasmania. Yep. And DJ talking about changing the oil last year, and now I want to change my coolant and air filter before the summer. Definitely understand on a fresh start, keeping track of things. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Cleats for the bush, the rebrand. Okay, there you go. Yeah, cleats for the bush. Okay, yeah. No more footy boots. Yeah, I know you still talk about it, but it's really cool. I really enjoy what you're doing. So keep it up. Keep up the good work. Another one that messes with the 360, like Restless Mule. All right, so that's 2 minutes. Was that the longest 2 minutes ever? All right, back on track. Boom. All right. So this was talking about in relation to episode 100 when I was talking about you know, email me, and my email is going to be in all the descriptions now instead of just the channel. I'm going to have something that if you want to, you know, talk and I'll reference episode 99 and episode 100 so people that don't know can go back and they kind of see what it's like, kind of what I'm asking. But Jen made me laugh at this. He's talking about some stories maybe so messed up that they shouldn't be shared. And I mentioned about, you know, a statute of limitations, so we should have that. One thing that it mentioned, I'll finish. I think the collaborations are great because you learn from each other and you can understand their different paths or a much needed path. Yeah. So doing that, like I mentioned before, you know, I have a library, and to hear somebody else's story, I think is a lot of fun. And to have other people, like if you didn't know Restless Mule, you should have, but if you didn't know Restless Mule before, you know him now, right? An hour and a half, hour and 23 minutes, however long it turned out to be, of conversations, you know, that's just, you know, even though it's an hour and 23, it's still a glimpse of obviously who he is and what he has to offer. Then you look at his channel and you kind of see like kind of a thought process, the motorcycle he rides, multiple ones through the channel over the last, you know, year plus 2 years of him riding, not just the MT10 but the BMW as well. And it's just a lot of fun to be able to hear somebody else's story, and that's what I watch y'all's videos too. Jen, you talk about, you know, I mentioned before, and you mentioned you ride the Ninja and new to riding, had passed the class in November. I still remember some of the benchmarks, and you're just getting back into it with the weather breaking, which is nice. I see some of the YouTube shorts and the Instagram reels and stuff like that. So I think that it's great, and you're able to share whatever you want. Okay, and this next thing about, you know, spoke to the I Moto is the conversation here that I want to have. I'll read it because I can combine these two. But he mentions, you know, I really like the idea, though not for me. Not that you would want me. And he's trying to, you know, everybody sells himself short, but that's just being humble. You need to give yourself some more credit, everybody. I know I beat myself up too, but at the same time, yeah. I haven't gotten over the anxiety of showing my face in my videos, and that's kind of what I want to talk about here for this. My goal is obviously. That's why I don't want to stress people out. I don't want to pressure them into not being comfortable with coming on. Cause and this was my goal, like at best was going to be like maybe once a quarter, you know, every 3 months, you know, have a random video to of somebody's story, and at best once a month or something like that. But I was kind of looking at quarterly. I think that made the most sense to kind of not turn this channel into that. Not that I'm opposed to, but I have so many. I mentioned I have 6 videos to edit. I filmed 4 in one day, which is a new record for me. And I don't typically like. The reason it's nice that I have all the footage, just like I'm sure everybody that sits on footage probably is, that's a good thing. That's a good problem to have. But with my motorcycle right now being in the shop, by the time I finished like editing 5 or 6 videos, that's essentially 5 or 6 weeks from now, right? So you're a month and a half later, my motorcycle has been back, my brake fluid's been changed, oil's been changed. Jen, I changed my oil. And then whatever else, maybe, I've done to it or something like that. The saddlebags aren't on right now, so it's a new look, just because I want to make it easier for them to change the tire. But whatever else I do is going to be like 6 months in the past. So when people would write comments and say, "Oh, hope you get it back soon," or whatever they would say, I'm already riding. I've been riding for a month and a half since then. I'll get it back next week, sometime next week. And I only work Wednesday, so we dip into the 60s. It'll be nice, still nice weather to ride. But that's the only bad thing about having so much footage that I'm sitting on is that the recency of it is, it's I guess decays or whatever. It's just not quite up to par. So that's why I'm going to bounce this one in front, and then the other ones are just going to be a week later. And not that they're time sensitive, and that's why I don't mind bouncing this one forward. But going back to Spoked in the Eye Moto, Spoked in the Eye Moto, he mentions about like not feeling comfortable about showing his face. And I'm gonna tell you all right now that like I don't mind like just putting your logo there, or animate your logo, or do something to where it moves a little bit or something, and that way it's just not stagnant. And you don't have to show your face. And I just want to let you all know, like, if you want to do this is only if you want to do this. If you want to come up with questions, I'll come up with 5-10 questions. You can come up with questions that you would like to know or something. And the same thing that with Restless Mule and I, we don't want it to sound rehearsed. So you come up with the questions and kind of know your direction. Keep yourself on track with like bullets or something if you want to. But I can edit a lot of this stuff out. So if there's anything that you don't want or didn't come across right, you want to say it again a different way, like we'll just take, pause and Restless Mule will know, like I probably won't even hit the record button. I'll probably forget to do that again, because that's kind of like where I was for that week and a half, where I just kept missing the record button. But it turned out to be a really funny moment, and in the beginning of the video, great. I mean, it was phenomenal, and then I couldn't get back on track. It was funny, but there's no pressure like whatsoever. Like nobody has to do it, first of all, but if you want to do it, I'm always going to kind of advertise, I think, in the description, just to kind of keep it in people's mind if they choose to. But you don't have to show your face. We don't have to do it live. If you want to do it live, we can do live. There's so many different ways to do it that there's just no issue whatsoever. Let's see. Oh, sorry, guys. Yeah. No, that was cool. Lucky Aces, are you still here? Lucky Aces riding? Yeah. Probably. All right, Lucky Ace is riding. This is the next one. You get the next comment here. And what I mean is this one right here. Talking about a group meet. Let's see if you're here. If you're Lucky Aces, if you're here, just say yes or a number or something. But here's Whiskers over here, 74. He's from Australia as well. So the Indian Crusader, if you're still here, is it the Red Rock? Is that right? That I know you filmed it, and then this guy with Whiskers 74 was talking about going to see it this summer, if I'm not mistaken. Red Rock? Is that it? Hope that's right. But that was what was cool. Like I've seen it, and I'm gonna see it through his eyes too. Okay, Lucky Aces. All right. Hey, are you cool? I know we're in the planning. Are you cool with me talking about what we were talking about? Are you cool with me talking about what we were talking about on email? You say yes, no, maybe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so Whisker 74 he's planning on taking a trip there too. So that's pretty cool. I've seen it through you. You got off the bike too and got some close-up footage, which I like. I like that. When I grew up, motovlogs were pretty much like just riding around. Go ahead, I record the beginning. Yeah, start. Oh, I get to that in a second. So, motovlogs, when I first started watching, like way back when, like they just rode around, or they maybe go somewhere to eat or something, and film them eating and engage in all that, and that was it. But I really like the, I guess, creative. I know it sounds weird, the creative aspect, and that's why I mentioned like you do such a great job in your videos, because I've gotten into photography, already videography, and with my buddy, like getting me the drone and the camera and stuff like that, and just it's being able to ride somewhere. I mentioned before in the video, like being able to ride somewhere, your hobby of riding a motorcycle, to go do another hobby, like stacking hobbies, flying a drone, getting a drone shot, putting a 360 in the ground while you take pictures, while you're mic'd up on your lav mic, that's connected to a GoPro or something, or whatever, or connected to 360, it doesn't matter. And to be able to do that, it takes a lot to edit, but at the same time, like, man, it's so much fun. It's a lot of fun. So that's why, like, my videos, like, I never want to be pigeonholed in one thing. So like I didn't want to just be pigeonholed and ride a motorcycle, or talking about, motorcycles or anything like that. Or I don't want to, I don't know, fill in the blank. So to be able to, and that's why I joked earlier on the live, like I am absolutely terrible at YouTube. Far, far, far from monetization. It's like I said, it got mentioned. Like I'm not, yeah, not even close. And I'm cool with it, because I'd rather do what I want to do. I'm telling you that there's nobody in the room telling me to say this. I'd rather do what I want, to create what I want to create, to upload what I want to upload, rather than stick to that algorithm, So, but yeah, it can be a lot of fun, or otherwise it'll stress you out. All right, Lucky Aces. Let's see. Talk about the video of Russ's Mule. You not hitting record in the beginning, and the video started where it did and kept things real, seemed more genuine. Yeah, and that's another thing. Like I always, that's why I don't want. If you know exactly how you're going to say something, it changes your being genuine or authenticity, and fill in the blank, right? So that's why I said, like, we come up with questions, because I don't want to bombard people with questions that they're not comfortable of answering, or that they don't really have an idea where they're going to go. So it's one thing to read the questions, agree on the questions. And like I said, I want it to be as fun, as fluid as it is, because it's supposed to be. I mean, that's it. It's not like, where were you on December 12th, 1942? I don't know. I went way, way, way back there. Hold on. 1999, 1942. Who was in the war? What'd you do? Oh my gosh, that just popped in my head. All right. That's the second time I said 1942 today. I was talking to my dad about World War II. So it's not completely random. It's pretty random, but not completely. Nobody here was alive in 1942. Okay. Oh, so you're going back to The Rock? Yeah, I'm gonna call it The Rock. Going back to The Rock. That's Alcatraz for us, a prison. The Rock. Back there in 8 weeks. 10,000 kilometers in 12 days. That's awesome. Go ahead. Be safe, man. That's awesome. Oh, and that's another thing. When you lost your laptop, or golly, man, it was in the like the I don't think y'all call it Uber, or is that the hotel or something like that? You called the hotel and they found it. Whew. That would have been devastating. I always joke, like, if something happens to my laptop, that's when I joke about the channel being done, because that's my editing monster. It's the machine. So I'm glad you found it. And all the footage, all the videos that you're releasing would have been gone. Oof. Okay, so Lucky Ace said, yeah, go for it. I was going to say that if you want to do an interview thing, screw it. Oh, let's do it in person over a burger and wings or something. Oh, okay. All right. So 2 birds with 1 stone on this conversation. So going back to, boom, over here. Oh, shoot. Let me zoom in. Can I zoom in a little bit? Yeah, there we go. So, and you are wrong, which I think is in Florida. I'm not sure. Brother, we need to do a group meet. I mentioned before in a video that my engagement of anybody is low for YouTube overall. Like if you're going to do a group meet, you'd have, like, let's say you had thousands of comments or something like that. Then that's one thing, or hundreds of comments, let's say. but especially like around me, like there's nobody really around me in my area, my neck of the woods. And then Lucky Ace is riding, which I've known to do not one but two group rides in the past. Mentioned something. You hit me up on the I almost said the Google, on the Gmail account for the channel. It's The Firefighter, spelled incorrectly apparently, but thefirefighter@gmail.com, and was talking about doing a meet. And I am for that. I don't have, there's definitely not a following for me to do a group meet. And one of my goals, which I mentioned in this video somewhere, let's see, is this the thumbnail? I can find it. Goals, this one right here. Boom. Look at this. This is an excellent way to pull up old videos. So episode 90, I mentioned about my goals. My goals are to kind of branch out. It wasn't a time sensitive, as in like it had to be done this year, but going to meets. I ride solo. I don't ride with anybody else. I've only ridden with one other person, and it's just I don't. It's not a bad thing. I enjoy riding solo, but I want to be able to compare it to something else. So I talked about going to meets or going to like a Harley night out or whatever, test ride demos or something. Do something different, kind of get out of my element, out of my comfort zone. Well, in this video, I was actually mentioned. I'm pretty sure I wrote it in the email back to you, Lucky Aces riding. I'm gonna call you Lucky Aces, but I mentioned it in the email. I'm pretty sure that when I shot that and about doing group meets, like yours was the one I was talking about, like going to a meet, because the other two times that you had meets, I was either working that day or I would get off because it's about 3.5 hours between my house to yours, and or city to city, whatever. By the time I got off of work, I wouldn't be able to make your start time at like 10 a.m. or something. I think you had about 10 a.m. So that's definitely in the cards to be able to, like, I'm going to have like a brand new tires, a new oil change, whatever, or new brake fluid. I'm going to get that right. I'm going to go to Harbor Freight and get a bleeder for it, but I'll be good. I'll have an inspection, everything will pass, but that's the other thing. I need to get legal before I travel some distance, which I have to look up because I went to Lake Gaston on the Honda Ruckus. It took me 4 hours on the little Honda 449cc Honda Ruckus. Took me 4 hours there. I visited for about 2 hours and then 4 hours back. And that story was told, but in one of my videos. It's probably right. Where is it? This one? I think it's this one. It's these two actually. Which I can't. Yeah, this one and this one. I told the story about the Ruckus, the trip, but yeah. So I'm willing to make the whole trip, or meet in the middle somewhere. I was kind of looking, like brainstorming some spots in between. If there's something, because then it would give you the chance to ride somewhere different if you wanted to. But I would be, like, honestly more than willing to make that trip, because that'd be fun for me to take a further trip, which is another one of my goals. I know it's not 3.5 hours is not a huge deal, but when I'm used to riding, 30 to 45 minutes just around town, to do that and find some back roads would be pretty cool, and film it just for fun. So yeah, but I think that'd be cool. Set up something. Absolutely. I actually have. Right here, so I can hold it. Boom! Look at that, right on cue. Bam. So this is the receiver and transmitter. Boom! Lav mics. So I've got 2 of those. So that would actually work out just fine if you wanted to do something like that, and it could even hook up to your phone. So, boom! We'll definitely be in touch for something like the summer. And while you're here, if I scroll up. Let me zoom out a little bit here. Oh, that's not the right one. This one. I keep seeing me. This. So I talked about my schedule a little bit. All these X's are like my days I work. So like right now I work tomorrow. It's a cycle. So don't worry about the day of the month, but just how it is. So I work Sunday and Wednesday, and then I'm off for 5 days in a row. And then I go back Tuesday. So you mentioned about taking work or whatever. You won't even have to worry about taking work, because I have, like, this whole weekend's opened up. Just got to get right with the missus since we got our dog. Let's see, you're right. One of your goals is to ride further. Still, that stupid heart's in the way. Plus, a change of scenery would be nice. Yeah, I have mics as well. We are good. Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely doable. I think it'd be cool to absolutely would do that in person over burgers. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So we'll figure that out. We'll get a day, and have maybe a second day in case the weather's bad one of the days. Kind of do like a back-to-back thing or something, and figure out. So we'll be in touch, man. Hey, that'd be fun. That definitely would be fun. I'll be looking forward to it. Get to meet you, get to see the bike, and take a trip. So there's a lot of benefits out of that. A whole lot of benefits. Let's see. Curveballs. So a lot of people, I guess, going back to the comments, I'll try to fast forward a little bit. Mentioned that they really like the idea of the interview, but it's not really for them. And it's perfectly fine. Like I said, I'm not going to beat a dead horse. And if things change down the road, then you're more than welcome to hit me up. Like I said, if I don't do outside of Restless Mule 2.0, the original, and Lucky Aces over a burger, I tell you what, I'm a fan of burgers, so I would be perfectly fine with that. If I never did again, it is what it is. It's for me because I really enjoy hearing y'all's story, but I would like to throw it out there even to other people. And no pressure. It's forever. No, I'm not gonna make you. I'll make myself look bad. I won't make y'all look bad. Yeah, Firefighter Lucky Aces collab. Yeah, and live too. Well, I say live, like in person, not just over the computer. All right, let me catch up. Burger or wings? Yeah, I could do wings too. Actually, the wings might be even better because we'll be covered in it. And I won't. You won't tell me, and I won't tell you that you got something on your face. You got some sauce, wing sauce on your face. Okay, Jen, I'm catching up to your stuff too. Yeah, just like a musician. If you write and sing what others want to hear, you lose the real you. Yep. Your flock will find you, so just do you. Boom. Mic drop. Can you do a mic drop? Do a mic drop on that. Absolutely. I saw something too, and they were talking about, and once again, this is like how to YouTube, and they were saying basically like don't make videos. And this is what I'm talking about. Like, I really enjoy like Restless Mule, the gurus, the YouTube gurus. That's a word I'm starting to really like disdain. Like, I'm really starting to get irritated with it. Oh, time check. I just like camera time check. I'm too bored to interview. Nah, Steven Turner. No, actually, just the opposite, man. Because I don't know a lot about you. So let me go dark here. I think I can still talk though. Boom. Yep, still talking. Restless Mule told me he could hear me, but he couldn't see me when this went off. Yep, so mic's still working. So that's the opposite. So I don't know a lot about you, and that is perfectly fine because that's how we come up with questions, and everybody gets to know you and stuff like that. So quite the opposite. I'm gonna say it right here, and I'm gonna move on from that. If you're interested in Lucky Aces, I got you with burger and wings. But if you're interested to do this online, just email me. The Firefighter, FYER, fire, spelled weird, The Firefighter @gmail.com. And it's in the description of my last video too. Yeah, easy mode, Restless Mule, easy mode. Yeah, so they were talking about, and going back to Jen's comment, and that's what I mentioned, like I'd rather have 10, and I'm pulling that number out. I'm saying like 10 people, if they wanted to watch my videos and interact and conversations, and I'm watching their videos and conversations, and Dialog is exchanging back and forth through lives and other people's lives and everything, all that other stuff, Instagram, like all this other stuff. I'd rather have it that way than 1,000 people that, like, or the vanity metric or whatever. And then also, I don't know. I'm just, that's not why I'm on YouTube. It's not. So the gurus were saying on easy mode that until you stop making videos for yourself and started making it for others, then you won't succeed, or you would succeed once you did that. And what they meant by that is, don't make videos that you want to make. And let's let that resonate for a second. Don't make a video If you love bird watching and you started making videos of your favorite bird, this is so off the wall. In 1942, right? If you want to make a video on bird watching and everybody wanted you to show more squirrels, this is such a random thought, but either way. But you want to do birds, and then you started filming squirrels, even though you didn't like it. Like, what's the point? What's the point? Anybody can get a part-time job. You can sell stuff in your house. You don't make a lot of money in YouTube, okay? And of course you can, but like, what's the point? If you're doing it to film your life or to film and to, you know, have engagement, and why would people go live? Why would anybody go live if they didn't care to talk or to, you know, tell stories and you know, catch up with, you know, honestly, like friends and stuff like that? So I don't know. It's just there's just people, I guess, that are just looking at YouTube differently. They're looking at it as a way out. And that's really what it boils down to. People are looking for a way out of like that 9 to 5. And I understand that, but at the same time, why make this another job? The amount of hours, everybody here makes videos. Why would you want to turn what you enjoy, like your passion or your love for photography, videography, riding motorcycles, you know, bird watching, squirrel watching, showing Australia. Why would you want to do that and force yourself to do that because you're hoping that you're going to get paid one day or you're going to make a couple bucks or something like that? Like, it's just not worth it. It's not worth it at all. So that's why I say, like, I make these videos the way I want to make them. But to be able to find, like you said, Jen, like your flock, that people that somewhat enjoy them, enjoy them enough to watch and leave a comment. We'll put it that way. I don't want to sell myself short because I told somebody else not to do that. But I also not going to be like an ego. So I'll leave it at that. It just, I don't know. People just need to take a step back and kind of realize, like why are they on YouTube? I think. All right, let's catch up. Camera, I got the camera. That's right. And Lucky Aces, you mentioned you have a lot of vacation time. You have more vacation than you than you can use this year. Yeah, whatever works. Yeah. So we'll definitely figure something out. And the weather's getting a lot nicer. We were in the 80s today. Maybe I'm bragging here. Sorry. It was 83, I think, today. We've been in the 80s a couple days. We hit 90. I think 90 yesterday. And then we're gonna get some rain on Monday, I think, and it's gonna dip into the 60s. Which, okay, that'll be all right. Stephen Turner, I'll say it again, not too boring to interview. I'm telling you, we can come up with questions. Let's see. Jen Ryder, I know I'm behind. I'm sorry, but we can make ourselves look bad. Don't need your help. That's not true. And Lucky Aces Ryde. I mentioned this before too on, I think, a different live, but that's why, like, I know I deleted my shorts. That's a different reason, but to have your old videos, I think it shows the growth of you. You know, potentially one day. I said eventually. Potentially one day you don't have your, you know, what motorcycle, the sports bike you had. What was that? That yellow sports bike? I don't remember what it was. But if you would delete all those. And you didn't have them backed up, like you don't have any evidence, or not say evidence, or videos of that old ride, and kind of like, you know, what some of the sites you used to do, or another guy way back when he moved, and he did a lot of riding videos. My Midlife Moto did a lot of riding videos in a different house, and he moved, and now he's got footage online of his old Rebel, because he ended up getting a Harley, but his old Rebel 500 that he had. And his old stomping grounds and the old, you know, store down the street and gas station and all this other stuff. And it's all documented, let alone show like how far you've come from editing your videos, whether you know, color grading, whatever you do. ND filters, you put on filters now on your GoPro or DJI, what is the action, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, Lucky Aces, you've been because you and me and my shadow monetized, right? Just talk about the people think that you can make, but it's just you don't have to answer that. One thing with that is I found out that even if you didn't want to monetize because you don't want the camera commercials to pop up, YouTube can decide to put the commercials on the beginning anyway. So when you think you don't want to monetize because you might be ruining the experience or something, YouTube can do it and make money off it. And I'm like, well, then that kind of makes a no brainer. Now the difference is like mid roll, and like lives. I would never put. You could put a I would never put a commercial on my lives because let's say it's gone for 2 minutes or it's gone for 20 seconds. You miss what that person said. If you watch the replay, apparently, and if you have the commercials on, if I'm not mistaken, it does. It pauses in a moment so you don't miss anything. So when people do live and they have the commercials on, it takes away from, part of the live and all that stuff. So I didn't really understand that. But, I mean, to each their own. 2002 Suzuki Katana. Yeah. You miss it. Yep. Hey, that's part of the question. Part why we're covered in wing sauce. 2002 Suzuki Katana. Yeah, I remember that. I don't remember if I was watching when you had it. I think I was. I don't think I watched an old video. I think it was during when you had it because I know you were conflicted. That's what it was. You were conflicted because like certain people were there for the shadow, and then when you had the Katana video, and it's gonna happen. It's no different than what you have the mean streak right now, right? I'm sure you probably. I mean, you would know best that the shadow probably does the best, maybe, or the mean streak. Whatever. I'm just making things up, making numbers up. But you had some people that were fans of the Katana, and some people that are fans of the shadow before you had the mean streak, and then you had to try to figure out the balance. So it's tough. Jen, snow tonight here in Missouri. Eee. Bike is back on the battery. Oh no! You did get a ride in though. I saw that. Oh no! And you took it out for like 2 hours or something. That was a good ride, for sure. That's the thing with that, especially being new. Like you want to get out there and you want to. You're doing right though. And I'm just talking out loud. But it's tough. I don't know if I wrote the comment about it, but it's tough because you want to get out there and you want to build your skills and confidence up with it, especially on the turn. I remember you doing some turns and stuff like that, and you're working on your turns. But then you got to put it away because it's snowing again. Obviously, you mentioned that, and that's tough. Trying to get some steady weather, but it's coming. It's coming, I promise. Snow in April is cruel. Rest of me, absolutely. And American Outlaw got snow as well. Jeez. Yeah, we got way more snow than we were accustomed to, for sure. Like it didn't snow for like 3 years here, not even like a flake. Yeah, Lucky Aces. Yeah, you and I both. We don't really get snow, so they don't really know how to act, and especially people don't know how to drive. At work. I love inclement weather. Just I would joke like adding a degree of difficulty at work, and that's why I say like inclement weather, whether it's a hurricane or snow or bad thunderstorms or something like that, or you can't driving rain, driving in the driving rain. Just to add a degree of difficulty. It's fun. Don't adjust. I always joke like this too. This is terrible. But I'll tell myself. I'll get in the truck. This is terrible. I might have to delete this if something bad ever happens. But I joke about not adjusting the seat or the mirrors on the truck because I add a degree of difficulty of driving. That's terrible. Yep. Unpopular opinion, but I always say it as a joke. But it's funny. Yeah, you always should adjust. I might have to delete this. You should always adjust your mirrors before you roll out. It's terrible. I don't know why I'm like this. Okay. That's terrible. All right, I want to get over myself. So, Lucky Ace, yeah. Yeah, and that's exactly what I've heard. Lucky Aces talk about yes being monetized. I started asking you questions about that. You can select whether you have the option to put the ads on, but YouTube can add them to popular videos regardless. And that's what I'm getting at. Like when people choose not to because they don't want to disrupt the not the live but the video or the flow of it. And they say like they're really good. The gurus say that they're really good about placements for it, but I remember back in the day, like people would, I think 8 minutes is the shortest video you can have, or it might have been 10 at one point. We had mid-roll ads, so they're like there's a lot of videos that are like 801 or something, and I don't know how I feel about that. To each their own, I guess. Oh, there you go. Yeah, 8 minutes. Yeah. So oh shoot, Google just popped up. Mid-roll ads can be added to videos 8 minutes or longer. Typically, I don't because I would rather have people watch. This is it. Watch the whole video and have it not break the flow. Boom. I give you 2 thumbs up. Ah, shoulder. American Outlaw. I feel your pain. All right. No, I mean that's respectable. You do you, but I'm just saying I completely agree. And this is coming from a guy, man, I do that on my live streams. I'll just show like all the background to my like YouTube analytics and stuff. Cause I really don't care. I don't have anything to hide. That's probably a whole different, I probably should. I don't even know. Nah, it's just a waste of time for now. But I have some stuff like, I can't for life of me figure out, so like impressions, everybody knows what impressions are. How many times your video shows up. Maybe I'll show one. Hold on. Let me do something. This is what I can't figure out. And this is exactly why like I get to the point where you gotta give up. You gotta give up. All right, let me check this out. I need to do individual. Can I do it? Maybe I'll just do it on my phone. I know how to do it on my phone. Check this out. So they want, oh, you need a brace, bro. I feel bad for your shoulder. No, it's all good. I'm just messing with you. Ads on live. Why bother? I'd stop watching. Yeah. And I'm getting sidetracked, but that's exactly it. That is exactly it. Oh, let's see. What's up, newbie? What's up, Eckert? I think that's right. Going Eckert. Me and my shadow sent me LOL. Yeah, watching his live, catching up and missed it. And now this is on this. And now this on different device. Oh shoot. Okay, I got you. Yeah. Welcome, buddy. So, all right. So let me show this real quick. I just don't understand because it absolutely takes you completely away from it, and that's why like I was like, no, I'm good. Not that I really have a choice. All right. So let me pull up something. I'm just gonna pull up one thing. So YouTube wants you to stay on the Restless Mule. Here you go, dude. All right, we're in. Can it focus? I can't focus a little bit. Okay, so go to Beyond the Shadow. So what great branding right there. Beyond the Shadow with Restless Mule. All right. Look. Okay. It's not gonna show it. Oh shoot. Well, anyway, I'll say it. It says, shoot. Let me get my shoulder right. Boom. Come on, you can do it. Oh, you know what? Let me actually pretend I know what I'm doing. Go under here. Man, whatever. I can't show it. It's whatever. It doesn't really matter. But it shows the average view duration. This is wild. 20 minutes and 35 seconds, right? Which is insane. 20 minutes, 35 seconds. And it has impressions, 1,041. So like, I mean, I don't know how you do it. There is a steady incline though. Yeah, you can see that. So I told you, like, I can't play with it. I can't play with YouTube. It is what it is. And I can't stress out. So I don't stress out. And I've been like that for a while. So it's been very, very nice and comforting that I don't stress out about that. There's so many other things. it's out. It is completely. We've had conversations, Restless Mule and I. It is completely out of your. Well, the gurus would say differently. But that video is 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks old, right? And has 1,041, I think I said, impressions. And I mean, I love the video. I'm telling you, I love it. And there's nothing that like it's perfect. Like, well, it's half perfect, right? But seriously, like, it was so much of a joy to make and to do that like, but I just don't understand. I don't understand. You can't. There's certain things that you can't help, and algorithm is one of them. And I don't feel bad, as I mentioned in Me and My Shadows, in his live. Like, the collabs are not for subs. All right, I'm gonna have a conversation. They are not, like, people say doing a collab. You know, you get different audiences and all that other stuff, and that's why I'm sure a lot of the people that do this, like, business wise, they do that, and they grow from it and all that other stuff, like, as far as the vanity metric and everything. And I get it, I understand it, but that is not what I'm doing it for. That is not what I'm doing it for. And so that, I laugh at the numbers, and it's a disservice to Restless Mule. It's not a disservice to me. It's a disservice to him or anybody else that would come on this channel and have a conversation. So I just don't, like, it is something that you can't help. And the gurus will say, well, you're not doing it right. And I'm sure I'm not, because I'm bouncing all around. All right, what else we got? I think sneak peek. So I was going over your comments, and then a sneak peek of this was really cool. So tomorrow's episode, it actually releases in 2 hours and 12 minutes. Mark your calendars. Just kidding. I always do a midnight release. And I don't know if I touched on that before, but I like the midnight release for a couple of reasons. One, I'm excited to release it. It's been done since Monday, so I want to get it done. And then I go to bed. My sleep schedule is really, really bad. So I got to get up at 5 a.m., 5:10 in the morning. I got my alarm set, but I'll go to bed at like 1, 2 at the latest, something like that. So I'll get like 3 hours of sleep, and I go to work for 24 hours. I'll get beat up. I work in a my run area, and I'm on the medic tomorrow too. So every call, like, after midnight, is an hour 15 minutes before you get back to the station, if you don't get another call. So I work in a historic area. It's zoned off as a historic district, and so there's a lot of but overall it's a poverty, low income. I love it. It's great. The people are actually really good. People, the stereotype of it and all that stuff, but people there, like, super nice. You can have, honestly, it sounds weird, but you can have fun with these people and their family and stuff, and they're very gracious most of the time. They can be very rude, but that's anywhere. That's just like some rich area around here in snobs and stuff. There's a joke when I got there, and they're Section 8 housing and all that other stuff. Like, there's a lot of, like, just rundown, just people living tough lives. And kind of get on a tangent, but there was a joke that was mentioned that where I live in the where I live, there's a fire station down the street and everything. They said that you wipe your feet before you go into the house, and where I work, they say you wipe your feet before you go out of the house. And comical as it is or whatever, and I understand what people are saying, but at the same time, it's like, I wipe. This is disrespectful. Just respectful, not disrespectful. I wipe my feet, even if there's no mat. I stomp my feet or wipe my feet or whatever. I don't walk in people's yard unless we're going to an echo, like a code, or it's a house fire or something like that. I'll walk up the sidewalk or walk up the driveway and stuff like that. And that's just me. That's something that I do. I don't need a attaboy and all that stuff. That's not what I'm asking for. But I'm just getting to the point where, like, man, that's a tangent that didn't need to happen. I don't know. I think the world needs a little bit more of certain things. All right, let's change the subject. Needs a little more good in the world. Mid-roll ads, we talked about that. So Jen talking about taking some pay time off. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. My wife can cash in hours, and I wish we could do that. but paid time off to go recover, ride and recover at the same time. That's awesome. So I guess the weather should be. You're talking about snow tonight. Hopefully that's all out. It will be out by Tuesday. Oh, that's funny. Having Lucky Ace is riding. Having multiple bikes is like having multiple kids. You tell people you don't have a favorite, but you already have one, or you always have one. You have a favorite. That's funny. Oh, having trouble drinking. Ah, that's good. That's a good meme right there. Okay, I think I'm caught up there. You need a brace, bro. I feel bad for the shoulder. Dude, like I said, yours is infinitely worse. But it's like I'll go up and all of a sudden, yeah, I don't know. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'll be all right. I'll be pushing a stretcher anyway. Okay, yeah, I like that. Lucky Ace is riding. If you're enjoying making videos and having fun, then you're doing YouTube right. Yeah. Everything else will fall into place. Talking about, no, you're good. I could read it. I could read it, Lucky Aces. Yeah, exactly. It's called respect. Wiping your feet before you go into somebody's house. There's certain times where we got to run in, and I get that. That's different. But if we're going for, abdominal pain or a toothache or foot pain or something, treat others as you'd be treated. It's as simple as that. All right. So now, I think the only other thing I had, so this is, I was going to do a little sneak peek. I really like this. I think this is cool. This is a while back. I think if I scroll back up here, I'll show you like a thumbnail. I tried to do. This was my first. Let's see if it'll do that. This is the first time I ever did. I like this. I can just grab it and go. First time I ever used AI to make a video or a thumbnail. So episode 48 a while ago, obviously. And I was talking about like needing a ride. It was like, I don't even remember the temperature. I remember the video. I remember how it started with the song and the beat and all that other stuff. But I don't remember the temperature. I showed a picture of my watch. It was out of focus and everything, but 30 something degrees. And I was just talking about needing that ride. So Jen, cold weather, already planning Tuesday, phenomenal, right? That's what I'm talking about. Taking a day off too to recover. But there's some times where you absolutely need that ride, right? There's, and sometimes you don't realize it until you're on it. You're like, oh yeah, I actually needed this. So I made that video. I'm not gonna get into it any further than that. Put it back. Get back there. And in this video was this is why I'm telling a story while riding a motorcycle is not really. It's a different kind of motovlog, I guess, for me. So I was talking about, this is the next one I did, and I thought it would do better. And I actually know how to fix certain things now on AI or AI generated thumbnails and stuff. Like I even have a video where I have, I think three legs on accident. Yeah, it's this one. Or video or thumbnail where I have 3 legs because AI generation goofed up. So as you can see there, I have 1, 2, 1. Yeah, so I'm missing something here. Maybe someone's on the back. But anyway, I did it again this time. And this is not me. And the video, the sneak peek for tonight, as in 2 hours and 5 minutes, is about doing things that are uncomfortable. So my life, everybody has different difficulties in life. All right, I'm not going to get too far off a tangent, but it's all relative. So everybody has their difficulty in life. Everybody has some are more accustomed to it. I mentioned having kids. I know that got brought up here. Or having more than one motorcycle that you got to maintain. There's different things that I referenced it to a while ago. Is like someone that burns toast or gets a flat tire on the way to work. And that was my example way back years ago when I had this conversation with somebody, even though I'm talking about my flat tire on the Shadow. Not in this video, but just earlier in the live. that's like the worst day. They're like, oh, just, I'm so frustrated. I caught all the red lights. I burnt my toast. I got, my husband was parked behind me. My wife was parked behind me. I had to move their car to get out. I told them to move it. And that's what is difficult to them. So if the coffee maker's out, that's their difficulty is like a 10 all of a sudden. Somebody else is in that same office that had the same coffee machine that's out, or the 7-Eleven. I had to go to 2 7-Elevens today to get this. The guy did give me a spicy bite for free. No big deal. That's another good. It's not even a humble brag. I'm bragging about that. So the other person that won't have coffee for that morning, and whatever, make a scenario up. They're the ones that are having, that have kids that are going through some bullying or whatever. So not having coffee is nothing for that one person, but to the other person, that degree of difficulty for the morning just escalated through the roof. And that's why I mentioned, like, in this video, I just kind of talk about doing things that I was uncomfortable with, because I can give you a sob story. I'm not going to, but I can give you a sob story about a lot of issues in my life. Okay. And, not bad. Everything's okay. But everybody has a story. Everybody has a story. I mentioned everybody has a story worth telling. Hint, hint. But all joking aside, everybody has a story, and everybody's going through something. It could be as simple as, a family member, such and such, or whatever, or it could be their own person, or God forbid, anything, with kids and everything. So, but my degree of difficulty is all that I know. It's all that I have known, and I've grown up with it, as in taking care of myself for whatever, I'm going through, just as you are as well. So I made this video, and this was supposed to be a conversation about some things that I've been doing to kind of challenge myself, and taking that trip, Lucky Ace is riding, taking that trip to Raleigh, or somewhere in between or whatever, taking a trip outside of Hampton Roads, okay, and meeting up, and the challenges of what I might inherit, during that trip there and back in the same day. So if it's a 2.5 hour ride, and we do what we do, it's still a 2.5 hour ride back, or an hour ride back for you, and all this other stuff. So, so trying to do things out of my element, out of my wheelhouse. And I give a couple examples of what I'm doing, and I've talked about it. The last live stream I wasn't eating or drinking anything but water, because I was doing like a 24-hour fast, and that was one of the things that I don't talk about, but I added the text in here, and it was just to do something different and challenge myself, which it was cool. So it was kind of like being, I referenced it in there, like being uncomfortable, being comfortable with the uncomfortable, or something like that. I don't know. I don't know if that's exactly how I said it, but this is just, like I said, it's a sneak peek. It's just the thumbnail. It's a fun video I think I make, or I made, or whatever. I catch a lot of green lights on the way to work. The only red light I actually caught was in a different city, because I ended up coming back around, but it was just neat. So this is actually an AI version, and he actually got the shadow. I erased the, oh shoot, I'm sorry. I erased the mirrors, because I couldn't get the mirrors right, because I had the original mirrors on there, and I fixed that. Let me go in there a little bit. I fixed it to make it my square, my rectangle ones, to match my shadow, and they just weren't quite right, so I erased it. Like I said, I was able to erase, like I could have erased the third foot if I wanted to. Could do it again, you could add a headlight on there or whatever, but it's just a really cool picture. I lightened it up so you can see more of it using Adobe Lightroom, and that's all the stuff like I really enjoy. So that was cool. So I'm curious to see how, I haven't done an AI version in a while. You look at all these other ones. These are all just my bike itself. That technically was AI, the goals, but everything else is pretty much just like a screenshot that I kind of did. I just wanted to kind of do something different. All right, let me read some comments here. Let me catch back up, and then I think that's about it too. Let's see. I've talked y'all's heads off. Sneak peek, comments, further dialogue. Yep, 100 videos there. Yep. All right, cool. So let me catch up real quick. Yeah, okay. Feelings inside not expressed. I mean, y'all know I'm pretty much an open book. Restless mule. All right, dude. It's that left mirror, and I've been doing good, and I even said mirror correctly. That's a tricky word. That was pretty good. I gotta admit, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. That's why when you like, man, it's funny about the internet, especially like Restless Mule, how much like obviously well deserved success you've had, according to the gurus, success you've had with the channel and everything, and how you're making your videos is awesome. I'm really enjoying it. But it's the difficult part is the people that don't understand you and your sarcasm and stuff. And I know that's something that is tough to overcome, and the tonality of it in somebody like I know you, so like you could write something sarcastic, and I know you well enough to know that it's not my feelings aren't my feelings aren't hurt. I don't really have any feelings anymore either way. There's a story on that too. Feelings are gone. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. But that left mirror has been holding up like phenomenally. I've not had any issues whatsoever. But I'm telling you, if I tighten it down, like I said, there's no issue. But if I tighten it down again, I know it's just gonna something's gonna happen. It's gonna strip. It's gonna break. Something's gonna break on it. The whole handlebar will come off. Kickstand will fall off. I'm not gonna realize it. But all right. I think this is good. So we went over a bunch of stuff. If you missed the part about Instagram, I'm definitely very active over there. Posted something every day over there. That's kind of like my that's my gateway. I'm not monetized. My gateway drug is Instagram because I can kind of post like some stuff from behind the scenes. I got my dog and all that. This little monster right here. We've been going to the. I'll kind of leave it at this, I guess, because I'll just keep rambling, so I got to stop at some point. But we've been going to the school down the street. She's sleeping. She didn't hear it. But we've been doing better about car rides and stuff like that. And she's a terror. So I made this black and white, blurred out the background. Like I'm really enjoying. This is just with my phone, but it's been a lot of fun messing with Adobe Lightroom and Photoshop. I'm not really super good on Photoshop. Well, I mean, I barely like got the surface of it, and then that was just her running around. She's a goofball, so I thought that was pretty cool. But Instagram's been definitely a big outlet of taking pictures and doing some stuff behind the scenes. I think it's actually been a lot of fun. Whereas I don't want to put that on like YouTube posts and everything. So it's been fun. Yeah, a little bit of work. Yeah, a little bit of work. But that's where all my shorts, that I put shorts there now. So since I don't mess with YouTube. I hope everybody's doing great. I know, well, shoot, y'all got another day. I got to go to work tomorrow. Y'all got the weekend. Yeah, my sarcasm gets you in trouble sometimes. Yeah, probably not at home though, right? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it there. It's once again, I'm sorry. Like under the circumstances, I know, and I mentioned it next week's video about some stuff. I'm gonna cut a lot of that stuff out because it would be a really long video because I filmed on the way to pick up my motorcycle and picking it up with the trailer and driving it, and then conversation on the way back because I had a really good conversation. I stayed there at the shop for like 3 hours. Got a bunch of pictures of motorcycles. I guess I could have talked about that. Panigale, a Ducati, like a $40,000 Ducati motorcycle was just chilling in the shop. CBR 1000 had that. They had the Honda Monkey. I'll have video. I'll have pictures on the video, or I might even put it on Instagram or something like that. But Honda Monkey, how small that thing is. The African Twin, which I've seen. I wish I would focus some more on here. The African Twin. It was in the one you always see is the white with the blue and red markings on it, lettering. But they actually had a black one in there, which I've never seen before. Let me see if I can pull it up. Probably not. Honda Shadow, the 2024. Let's see, what else have they had? I've never seen the Honda Rebel 1100. I've never seen it. And it actually was very comparable in the size of, I know it's 1100, but it was comparable in the size with like the fuel tank and everything of the Shadow. I've never seen it in person. So they had a 500 there. Dude. Oh, it's not going to show it. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have videos up, pictures up there, but that's the Honda Monkey. Dang, that's too bad. The Groms were there. Lucky Ace was riding. The Groms were there. It wasn't a Boom Raider. I asked him if the guy, if he ever said, dang, see, if he heard about the Boom Raider, and he said no. I said, I'm pretty sure you said it was a Chinese knockoff. Dang, oh, come this way. Yeah, I can't show it. Anyway, that's African Twin, but it's black and gray. All right, you guys are awesome. Thank y'all for, another fun. Those who went live earlier, I got to see that. That was fun. And for y'all to come here and watch another one of me ramble about videos and whatever else I rambled about. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I guess that's it. I have no outro. I gotta have an outro. Was it a countdown to like shut up or something? But yeah, I don't know. Y'all have a good night. I appreciate it. And where's the stop recording button? There it is. All right. Have a good weekend. Those who do see it, the video, an hour and 52 minutes. The dog and I are going to school. We're gonna walk our lap or our mile around the track. She's gonna go no leash, run around, and that's about it. She can do 3 miles. I'm gonna do a mile. And if you watch the video and hit some comments, I'll be up till probably about 1, addressing some comments and all that stuff. But thanks again. I really appreciate y'all stopping by and engaging conversation, sharing some stuff and talking back and forth and having a good old time, because I really, really enjoy this, and I'm gonna keep doing it because it's because of people like all y'all. Okay. All right. Take care now. All right. Bye. Where's that button? There it is. Okay. Bye.